As the wildfires rage, the blame game is unfolding tonight. One of the most vocal critics, of course, President-elect Donald Trump. He is blasting Governor Gavin Newsom on social media. The California Democrat, in turn, inviting Trump to come on the ground to witness the devastation firsthand. And NewsNation correspondent Libby Dean live for us at the White House tonight with the latest on this back and forth. Libby.
Natasha, the current president has been in lockstep with California leadership when it comes to fire response. But the incoming president, Donald Trump, and California's governor on a much different page. This week between the incoming president and California's governor.
I think that Gavin is largely incompetent, and I think the mayor is largely incompetent, and probably both of them are just stone cold incompetent. What they've done is terrible. Would anybody have a comment on that? Because when you talk about losing the tax base, you're losing a lot of, you're going to lose a lot of those people permanently. Those people pay billions of dollars in taxes.
As fires rage on in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is inviting the president-elect to visit the devastation. In a post on X, Newsom saying he and Trump should work together and not politicize a human tragedy. A much different approach from President Biden, who has been supporting Newsom and other California leaders as they face criticism for underpreparedness. Newsom has also called for an investigation into local fire hydrants after comments made by the president-elect. The Democratic governor saying in part, quote, "We need answers to ensure this doesn't happen again, and we have every resource available to fight these catastrophic fires." Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, along with the Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley, have also had their fair share of differences, with Crowley criticizing officials on Friday for cutting the fire department's budget. But in a press briefing today, they both say they're focused on fighting the fires.
Let me be clear about something. The fire chief and I are focused on fighting these fires and saving lives, and any differences that we might have will be worked out in private. But right now, our first and most important obligation to Angelenos is to get through this crisis. When the fire is out, there will be time for us to evaluate. But at the same time, we also must begin the recovery effort, and there'll be more to come from that in the next few days.
Over the next few days and into the next week, we will be facing another critical weather event. I want to assure the residents within our incredible city of Los Angeles that Mayor Bass, Chief McDonald, and I are in lockstep together, and that we will utilize every single resource at our disposal to ensure public safety and that we holistically protect Angelenos.
In a meeting Thursday, President Biden with an awkward turn of phrase.
Madam Vice President, I know you're directly affected, so you fire away. No pun intended.
Indeed. President Biden has pledged federal aid to cover the costs of rebuilding these communities. Now, when I speak with people in Trump's circle about what this looks like, a potential California trip, because that is the question now, they actually tell me that Trump would likely wait until he's president to be able to bring the full federal resources. So they would wait until he actually is in office in 9 days to make that California trip. But certainly something to watch for in the coming days. Natasha.
I certainly appreciate that. Libby Dean live for us at the White House tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.